Welcome back to session 6 on op amps. In this session, we'll be looking at feedback principles and op amps. Of course, largely feedback principles because op amp based circuits we have already discussed. So now let me start by sharing my screen as usual. We use the lecture notes to discuss topics. So here it is. We start off with what is feedback in amplifiers. Explain positive and negative feedback. Now what is feedback? If you return part of the output back into the input, it is called as feedback. Feedback happens by some means. You make use of components to return part of the output to the input. You make use of a part of a circuit. So when you return the output back into the input, it can happen in two ways. One is you can be returning the output in phase or a fraction of the output, to be more precise, back into the input in phase with the input signal. Then you call it as positive feedback. If it so happens that the output part of the output that you are returning to the input is out of phase with the input signal, then it constitutes what is known as negative feedback. Both positive and negative feedback have their own importance. Here I have shown the simple figures for the concept. So this is the op amp. Doesn't have to be an op amp, in fact. Now we are feeding the input signal at the negative terminal. We have got the, you have got the output here at the positive terminal. You are inputting the signal. What is happening here? So input and now negative signal, negative terminal kodta ideve. Sorry. So the output will be 180 degrees out of phase with the input. Adantandu naven ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ positive or the non-inverting terminal ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, which is as it is 180 degrees out of phase with the input. So here therefore this beta is called as the feedback fraction, and the output is being returned now in phase with the input. So what happens? We have here a case of a positive feedback. On the other hand, here you are giving a signal to the non-inverting terminal. The output will be in phase with the input signal, and you return the output, a part of it, in fact, a fraction called as beta, known as the feedback fraction, back into the input. So here there is a 180 degree phase shift between the input and the output. So this can be called as negative feedback. Now we can also look at what are the different features of, or we can compare and contrast the two types of feedback. We can choose some parameters, some 5 or 6 parameters, based on which we can make a comparison. So if you make a comparison, then this is what we see. Overall phase shift for a positive feedback, the amplifier provides a 180 degree phase shift. You return it to the opposite type of terminal, another 180 degree phase shift. So totally 360 degree phase shift you get. 360 degree phase shift simply means that the input and output are in, the input and the feedback fraction are in phase with each other. So you can also say the phase shift is 0. In negative feedback, as you saw, positive or non-inverting terminal was given the input. So the output is in phase with the input, and it was returned to the negative terminal, providing thus a 180-degree phase shift. So phase shift here is 180 degrees. As far as input and output voltages and noise are concerned, you find that noise increases in positive feedback. It starts oscillating, in fact. Noise decreases due to negative feedback. The phase relationship between between the input and output terminals is, in the case of positive feedback, it is in phase. In the case of negative feedback, it is out of phase. So next, gain. In positive feedback, gain increases. In negative feedback, gain decreases. As far as the stability of the circuit is concerned, in a positive feedback, the stability is poor, and negative feedback, the stability increases. So the properties that you see here for negative feedback are actually very good for amplifiers. They improve barring the fact that some reduction in gain happens, these are good properties for an amplifier. Therefore, negative feedback is employed usually in amplifiers. Positive feedback is of use in what are known as oscillators. I have just mentioned, in addition to these two, the disadvantages of a negative feedback: reduction in gain, reduction in input resistance in certain types of feedback called as the current shunt and voltage shunt feedback mechanisms, increase in output resistance in the case of current series and current shunt feedback amplifiers. Earlier than the detail now noted. So now we want to go in a greater detail on negative feedback. When do you say there is negative feedback? You say there is negative feedback when a portion of the output is fed to the input out of phase with the input signal. So the phase shift provided by the, and remember, the phase shift is provided by the amplifier, whereas the feedback network does not provide any phase shift. The mechanism by which you return the output to the input, that is called the feedback network. The feedback network is not causing the phase shift. It is the amplifier that is causing the phase shift. So when you apply energy, output energy back into the input, what happens? When you want to return a part of the output voltage back into the input, then usually you pick up the output in what is known as the shunt connection. In other words, you put two wires, one to the plus and one to the minus of the output amplifier, return it to the input in various ways, because you are taking the input output by means in parallel. The output is being tapped in parallel, then it is fed either in series or parallel to the input. Therefore, whenever you want output of voltage to be returned to the input, you always take the voltage, pick up the voltage in a shunt mechanism, parallel mechanism. The output points and the points to which you return at the inputs, they will be parallel. On the other hand, if you want a part of the output current to be returned to the input, then you always take the current in series, and when you return it to the input, it can be either in series or parallel. Therefore, it results in four types of feedback mechanisms. They are voltage series feedback, voltage shunt feedback, current series feedback, and current shunt feedback. Now let us look at each one of these mechanisms. Voltage series feedback. In voltage series feedback, what happens? A fraction of the output voltage is applied in series with the input voltage through the feedback circuit, but output is picked up parallelly or in a shunt connection manner. Therefore, it is called a shunt driven series fed amplifier feedback, or that is, it is a parallel series circuit. Now you see, this is your input, this is your amplifier, this is the output. You are picking the output directly and feeding it to the input. plus minus. Both you are picking up. This is your feedback circuit, whatever it be. This is the feedback voltage. The feedback fraction Vf is equal to, feedback voltage Vf is equal to beta V naught, where beta is called as the feedback fraction. But how are you connecting? You are connecting it in series. See, this is not where you are connecting. You are connecting one here and one here. So this is a series connection. Shunt fed series connection. Now in this kind of a circuit, what happens? As the feedback circuit is connected in shunt with the output impedance decreases, isn't it? You connect two components in parallel, the resultant impedance is less than the smallest individual impedance that you have. So therefore, when you are tapping the voltage in parallel, what happens is the output impedance reduces because your feedback network is connected parallel to the output. So the feedback network reduces the output resistance. On the other hand, when you are feeding it back to the input, you are feeding it in series. Therefore, what happens? The input impedance of the amplifier overall increases. So input impedance increases, output impedance decreases in a voltage series feedback connection. That is what you have to remember. Then we go to voltage shunt feedback. Now what is this voltage shunt feedback? This voltage shunt feedback is nothing but a connection in which a fraction of the output is picked up in parallel and also applied in parallel. This is called as shunt driven, shunt fed feedback, that is parallel prototype. See here the second circuit. As you can see here, output is taken in parallel. This is your feedback circuit. I have fed the feedback fraction also in parallel to the input. These are the input terminals. See, one goes to the negative, one goes to the positive. Therefore, this is a shunt feedback. So when it's a shunt feedback, what do you expect? Output, the feedback circuit is in parallel with the output impedance reduces. The feedback portion of the voltage is in parallel with the input, therefore input impedance also reduces. So this is the essential feature of the feedback, which is voltage shunt feedback. This is your basic amplifier with gain. This is your feedback fraction. You are tapping a portion of the output through this circuit to feed it back into the input. Like in your op amps, part of the output voltage you remove through your RF feedback resistor. Okay. So then we come to the current series feedback. In current series feedback, a fraction of the output voltage is applied in series with the input voltage through a feedback circuit. This is also known as series driven, series fed feedback. It's a series circuit. When it's a series circuit, let us make the conclusion. Input impedance as well as output impedance are increased. This is your circuit for voltage series feedback, or current series feedback. This is the third feedback mechanism. So current series feedback. Now look here how it is connected. Compare it with the previous circuits. There I did not touch the resistor in this manner. I just pulled out voltage across the RL terminals. But here you see one end is connected to one end of the resistor. So what I am taking up is current flowing in this path. That is current flowing through the resistor. Therefore, I am feeding back a current. Now see, I am feeding current into the feedback circuit. Voltage is Vf. How is it being fed? It is fed back into the input also in series. Therefore, this is a series feedback configuration. So both output and input impedance must increase. So next we come to current shunt feedback, which is the fourth circuit. Actually, here it's a bit of a mismatch. In current shunt feedback circuit, what you do is the output is applied in series with the input through a feedback network. This is a situation where, see, you have tapped the output voltage, we have tapped the output voltage in series, but we have fed it in parallel. So this is series fed shunt connection. So what do you expect? Because it is a series fed shunt connection, the output impedance will increase, input impedance will decrease. So in general, when we talk of negative amplifiers, we say it lowers the output impedance, increases the input impedance, but we should be careful. This depends on the type of tapping that you take. So here is the table which simply illustrates what happens to the output and, sorry, not only the output, certain parameters with different kinds of feedback. Now what are the types of feedback that I am trying? The feedback that I am trying, all the four. So what are the parameters? Voltage gain. If you calculate in voltage series feedback, it's a proper negative feedback, output voltage decreases, in bandwidth increases. All these topics, all these issues are not discussed with respect to all amplifiers. Only input and output impedance we will discuss in detail for one of the configurations. Bandwidth increases, input impedance increases, output impedance decreases, harmonic distortion decreases, noise reduces. This is usually the feedback employed in amplifiers, the ones that you have studied. Then it comes to voltage shunt feedback. Because it's a shunt feedback, as it is, output impedance should decrease. Input impedance, because it is a shunt connection, that also decreases. Voltage gain decreases. In all negative feedback, voltage gain reduces. Take it for granted. Bandwidth increases in all cases. Input impedance depends on the connection. In all series feedbacks into the input, resistance of the input will increase. In all shunt feedback mechanisms, the input impedance will reduce. For the output, it is just the opposite. For all shunt pickups, output impedance will reduce. For all series pickups, output impedance will increase. So, harmonic distortion, because all these are negative feedbacks, you have harmonic distortion decreasing, bandwidth increasing, circuit stabilizing, noise also decreasing. So these are some of the characteristics of various combinations of feedback networks and their relative properties. Now if we go to study in detail the voltage series feedback, particularly in terms of its output impedance and input impedance. So what is this voltage series feedback? Voltage series feedback is one in which a part of the output voltage using a feedback network is fed back into the input. You tap the output in a shunt connection, you connect the output in a, back to the input in a series connection. So back here. So if we want to calculate some of the parameters, here we want to go for the input impedance. Let us see what is the input impedance of the circuit. The input impedance of the circuit is Zin, which is equal to Vin, or Vi, Vin which is equal to Vi by Im. Vi by Im, whatever current it results in, Vi by In, where In is the input current ಅಂತ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. So if ZF is the input impedance with feedback, then it is simply given by Vs by In, because current is same, where Vs is the input voltage with series feedback. Series feedback ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದು Vs, ನೀವು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು Vi. Zin originally is Vi by In. Zin after feedback now becomes Vs by In. Now Vi is equal to Vs minus beta V naught. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ beta V naught is the output voltage, part of the output voltage that is returned to the input, that plus whatever Vs is now is being seen by the input, that should be equal to Vi. So that's equal to Vs minus beta V naught. V naught is nothing but gain into input voltage. So Vs minus beta AV Vi, where AV is the open loop gain without feedback. So Vs therefore is equal to Vi plus beta AV Vi, ಅಥವಾ Vi ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ Vi into 1 plus beta AV. So if you now divide by In, Vs by In, which gives you impedance with feedback, is equal to Vi divided by Vi into 1 plus beta AV as usual ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ divided by In. If you use the definition of this part, this is nothing but this Vs by In is nothing but Zis, that is input Zs ಅನ್ನೋಣ ಸಾಕು. Zs is input impedance with feedback. Is and ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಬೋದು to show that it is the input impedance. So that is equal to 1 plus beta AV by Zi, because Vi by In ಆಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. Vi by In ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ Zi ಆಯ್ತು. Z input original ಆಗಿ 1 plus beta AV ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆ. So Zis, which is this part, which is impedance with feedback, this is equal to 1 plus beta AV into Zi. Means what? The input impedance increases. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. This is a voltage series feedback circuit. Vin is the input voltage for the original amplifier with gain A ಅಂತಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. AV ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಿತ್ತು, ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Gain AV ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So that is the gain of the amplifier. V naught is the output. Now if I want to look at the input impedance is Vi, the input voltage, divided by In, which would be the input current, which is not shown here anywhere. Now if Zif is the Is bad ಇಲ್ಲಿ, if Zif is the input impedance with feedback, that is going to be given by Vs, the input voltage now with feedback, divided by In, the original current. So therefore what happens? V1 as usual should be equal to Vs minus Vf, where Vf is the feedback portion of the voltage given by beta V naught. Therefore V1 is equal to Vs minus beta V naught, which is equal to therefore Vs minus beta AV Vi. The ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ relationship where AV is the open loop gain without feedback. So therefore Vs becomes, if you do the math here, Vi plus beta AV Vi, which is, if you take Vi common, Vi into 1 plus beta AV. Now if you divide by In, you get Vin by In, which is Zi. On the right hand side, if you divide by Vin, you get Vs by In, which is Zif, input impedance with feedback. So therefore what happens? Zif rather will be equal to 1 plus beta AV times Zi. In other words, the input impedance of the negative feedback voltage series feedback amplifier increases. Now similarly, we look at the output impedance of the voltage series feedback amplifier. Let us see what we get. To measure the output impedance, what we do is we short Vs, that is, you short the input part, V in short ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, input port ಅನ್ನು short ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. You short the input port as shown in the figure and connect a source equal to V0. ಹೊಸ source connect ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರ voltage ಎಷ್ಟಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ equal to V0 at the output, so as to drive a current I0 as shown. As shown ಅಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಫಿಗರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಓಹೋ, ಫಿಗರ್ ಎಗರ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. I think I have to put back the figure, sorry. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಈಗ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಎಸ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಎ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು I0 in the opposite direction. So now what happens? The V0 was originally the output voltage. If I0 you were to take it as the current, then Z0 by Z0 is equal to V0 by I0 ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ವಿತ್ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ZOF ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ V0 by I0 ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ VI is VS minus VF. Therefore V1 is input voltage VI is equal to ordinary I ಸಾಕು, VI is equal to VS minus V feedback. ಇದು ನಾವು 0 ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಈಗ. therefore VI is equal to minus VF ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು. ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ VI ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದರ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈ KVL to the output section and assume that the impedance of the feedback network is high, then what happens is V0 is equal to I0 Z0 plus AV VI. That is equal to I0 Z0 plus AV into minus VF, which is equal to I0 Z0 plus minus AV beta V0, but VF is equal to beta V0. It turns out ultimately, if you calculate, that ZOF is equal to Z0 by 1 plus AV beta. Andre enayitu, AV is the open loop gain, beta is the feedback fraction, and from your equation it is clear that the output impedance falls. So by a factor of 1 plus AV beta, the output impedance is going to reduce in a voltage series negative feedback amplifier. ಆ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಈ ಮಾತುಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೆಲೆ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. I did not see this actually, sorry. Now as a final exercise for this session, we can look at the difference amplifier. Now what is this difference amplifier? This is what the op amp is originally supposed to do. What originally supposed to do? It is simply supposed to amplify the difference between the voltages present at its positive and negative terminals. In other words, inverting and non-inverting terminals. So such a circuit we are going to see. So circuit details ಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಂದಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಾ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ difference amplifier circuit alva. So can we find the difference amplifier circuit in our diagrams? At least can we put it back now? Let me see. I think one of these should be it. I have to search, of course. What do we want? We want a difference amplifier. Yes. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೇರ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಕೆಲವು ಸಾರಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ where shall we put this? It's a difference amplifier, so we'll put it here. We now reduce it maybe, and then we say we wrap text square. Yeah. So this is our difference amplifier. Now what we can do, we can slightly build it up. So essentially what we are doing, we are giving two inputs, a voltage V1 to the non-inverting terminal through R1, which produces a current I1, and a voltage V2 through a voltage divider network of R2 and R4. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, R3 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದು feedback resistance. R3 and R1 together set up the gain of the amplifier. Here what is happening? V2 is being given as a portion of the voltage divided between R2 and R4. This forms a V2, R2 and R4 form a voltage divider network, and the voltage across R4, VB, will be fed to the op-amp. ನೇರವಾಗಿ through the input voltage V1 and through the resistors R1, they are going to feed a voltage VA, which results in a net current IF flowing through R3. This circuit, as I told you, is a typical op-amp expected to magnify or amplify the difference between the two signals. These are the essentials of this circuit as you are seeing. Now, output ಏನಪ್ಪ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ, if you are interested in finding what is the output, then the output can be found by simply using the superposition principle. Now what do we do? Initially we assume that only the non-inverting input is present, calculate the output due to that, then we calculate output due to the voltage at the non-inverting terminal. Then what happens? When both are there, the difference is amplified. We calculate the difference to see what is happening. So, ಗಮನಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. V1 is fed through R1, results in a current I1. V2 is fed through a voltage divider network of R2 and R4. Now what happens? The output voltage of the inverting amplifier will be ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು VO2 ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದಾದ್ರೆ, that will become simply RF by RI into V2. Where V2 ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? I think because I did not have the diagram, V1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Because I didn't have the diagram, I had to return. I was thinking of some other diagram. Let me call it as 01. So minus RF by RI into V1 is the output due to the voltage present at the negative terminal. Now if we short the inverting terminal and apply voltage to the non-inverting terminal, then what happens? R2 R3 ಅಲ್ಲ, R2 R4 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ R2 R4 ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. So then it is equal to VR4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. VR4 sorry by R2 plus R4 ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The initial gain is V01 equal to 1 plus RF by RI. This is due to the non-inverting terminal. Voltage is V2. When both are operative, what happens? The difference will be amplified. So 1 plus RF by RI into, what was that? V1 or V2? V1. Okay. 1 plus RF by RI into V1 is the voltage due to the inverting and when they take the difference, what happens? You can pull out that RF by RI fraction, 1 plus 1 minus 1 athara ella V1 V2 antella barutte differences. So you simplify the problem by simply making all the resistors equal, then you can simply subtract. When you simply subtract, it turns out that this difference becomes V1 minus V2, where all the resistors are equal. So aligenaito, essentially this becomes an amplifier. The difference between the signals present at the inputs are being magnified or amplified. Therefore, this is a classic difference amplifier. So these are some of the things we want to, or rather wanted to discuss in this session. So we have looked at the concepts of positive and negative feedback. We have looked at the characteristics of these feedback maneuvers. We have looked at negative feedback in a great detail. We have looked at the 4 different types of negative feedback: voltage, series, shunt fed series feedback, shunt feedback for voltage, shunt feedback for current, shunt fed series feedback for current. So voltage series feedback, voltage shunt feedback, current series feedback, and current shunt feedback we have seen. The voltage series feedback we looked at in a bit of a detail. We found that in such a case, output increases, output impedance decreases, input impedance increases, and we have also looked at the difference amplifier. We will stop for now. We continue in the next session with positive feedback and amplifiers. Thank you.